Welcome to Manhood, man. We out here on the deck, and you know, I want to have a real conversation with you about an area of one of my greatest failures and what I had to learn through co-parenting. That disagreements don't have to mean disconnection. You can co-parent and have a successful blended family. This might not be for everybody, but it's for somebody. Let's get into it. Let's go. Because we are the church, brothers, lift up a shout!
Manhood, a new YouTube series by Dr. Jermone Glenn for men and the people who love them. Tune in live on YouTube at 7 a.m. Central or watch anytime on YouTube at Jermone Glenn.
So disagreement doesn't have to mean disconnection. You can have a successful blended family. We love that if every child was born in a proper context and if it always worked out the way you dreamed, but sometimes life hits, life happens, people get involved, and it does not happen that way. So how do you make sure that your child doesn't be a casualty of your circumstance? Romans 12:18 says, if it is possible, and it is, as far as it depends on you, because you can, live at peace with everyone. Peace with everybody. I don't have no enemies, only teachers. I am cool. I got peace with everyone. Now, I don't know if everybody got peace with me, but I got peace with everybody, especially your baby mama. I know. Might be playing games with your child, playing games with your money, playing games with child support, your visitation rights, taking you back and forth to court, you know, giving you a hassle, but work to the end of having peace. It's possible. Every relationship may not begin or end the way you desire, but it's possible for you to live in peace. Be honest, when my wife and I first got married, you know, we have a blended family. She taught me something very powerful because I was coming out of a divorce. And although I was coming out of a divorce, and it was a contentious one at the time, I was trying to learn how to navigate, you know, my relationship with not just my child in a new space, but also with his mother. And I thought it was going to be contentious because our relationship ended not on the best terms, but because my wife was a child of a divorced or grew up in a divorced home, should I say, then she taught me that, you know, we don't have to live in contention. I grew up in a broken home and my parents managed it, her parents managed it very well. They still some type of way remain to be friends, even through all the indifference. And just because the relationship didn't work doesn't necessarily mean that the family dynamic can't work. It just needed to be recreated. This is a painful situation when you're dealing with this, but you have to make sure that you keep the main thing the main thing. So I learned from my wife that co-parenting definitely isn't just about me, but it's doing what's best for the child. So let's break down what co-parenting, and I learned in a strong blended family that we've been able, by the grace of God, some kind of way to create, because I didn't even think it was possible, but my wife was adamant. She was like, we're believers. And we can make this make sense and we can make this work for the sake of the child. So how do you do that? Number one, agree on what you can. Put the child first. There's a lot of disagreements. If the relationship was gonna work, it would have worked. The fact that it didn't work don't mean that y'all are not on the same page, but you can agree on what you can agree on, and that is that we can put this child first. This child was made by both of us, and we have a responsibility to put the child first. When you put the child first, this focus shifts you from your own personal feelings, from your bitterness, from the drama that might be connected to the history that y'all had, however it didn't happen or what didn't happen, and it does what's best for the child. This takes two grown people to be disciplined and not play no games to make sure that we can put the child first. If two parents disagree, they can agree on loving the child and supporting the child. Me and you don't have to like me, I don't have to like you, but I can love you enough and we can love this child enough to put the child first. Philippians 2:4 says, let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others, especially if you're both believers. You have a responsibility to put that child first. Make decisions through the lenses of the child and what's the well-being, not your personal resentment. Don't retaliate based on resentment. What's best for the child? What's best for the child? Not what's beneficial and best for you, but what's best for the child. What makes the most sense to put the child first? We talking grown today. Number 2, do what's best for your child, not for your ego. This ain't tit for tat and I'm gonna get you back. No, the co-parenting isn't about I win or you win. It's about raising a whole, healthy child. Man, listen, your child got one childhood, and your job and responsibility is to raise them and train them up in the way they should go with the least amount of triggers and the least amount of traumas. The fact that this relationship did not work is already more detrimental than you can imagine. The worst thing you can do is continue to make decisions based out of resentment, not out of relationship. Man, just because the marriage ended, the relationship ended, doesn't mean that your role as a parent ends. You will be parents for the rest of that child's life and even beyond. So just because the relationship didn't work don't mean your parenting ends. 1 Corinthians 13:5 says, love does not insist to have its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. In fact, it gives, it supports, it trusts, it separates personal pain from parental responsibility. Did you hear what I said? Can you be mature enough to separate personal pain from parental responsibility? It's not just me and you. This child is our most important responsibility. God trusted us with this child. We got to put the child first. Number 3, respect boundaries. Children are resilient, but you gotta learn to respect boundaries. In other words, if it didn't work between me and you, then ain't no need of you sending the child to me and trying to tell me how they gonna be over my house and how I'm supposed to be over your house, because that ain't gonna work. Children are resentful. You can't control what happens over here. I can't control what happens over there. I gotta trust that you love your child as much as I love our child, and that is the response and the responsibility, that when they're with you, they're with you. I'm not gonna be trying to control their bedtime and what they eat and how much they drink and when they stay. None of that's my business. That's your child. Children are resilient. They know how to move. They know how to get where they're supposed to be and do what they're supposed to do. The best thing you can do is trust that love is present, not control, but stability. It builds stability. It's gonna build stability every time. I'm gonna trust that this parent knows exactly what they need to be. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there's a season and a time under the heavens. So I gotta trust and respect the boundaries. And hey, when they come back with you, and they come back with me, and they come back with you, and they come back with me, I'm not gonna bad talk, I'm not gonna bad mouth, I'm not gonna be talking them bad or talking down behind your back or to that child, trying to forge an opinion within them. I'm gonna love them when they're with me, so I'm spending my time making memories, not trying to tear the other person down. Instead of fighting over control, focus on creating a stable environment. And when your child is with you, they're living by the principles that you desire and that y'all agree on, because you're raising a child. I got number 4 and I usually only have 3. Keep open communication and don't let resentment block your parenting. Man, this is tough when you can't stand the other person. This is tough when you don't want to be with them and you don't want to talk to them and you got to deal with this about this child. But this cannot let resentment block the relationship you have for parenting. Resentment between parents creates emotional tension for the child. They can feel that. They don't feel like navigating, going back up to, they're a child, they didn't ask to be here. They don't need to be your mediator. They don't need to be trying to make sure both sides is right. It's unfair to the child. You're the adults. Be adults. Don't argue. Don't go back and forth. Don't create that emotional tension for the child, because resentment brings emotional attention. A bridge can only be crossed if both sides are willing to communicate. So let's talk. We don't gotta talk about me and you. I don't gotta talk to you. You don't gotta talk to me. You don't gotta call me. I don't gotta call you. We don't gotta talk about nothing but this child. But we gotta talk about this child. We gotta get along for the sake of the child. I know it's complicated and it creates so much tension because it's not the original idea that the child was meant to be raised in or born in. But if this is the situation that the child is in, then make sure you do the best you can, not just for you, but for the child. Ephesians 4:31 says, get rid of all bitterness, all rage, all anger, be kind and compassionate to one another. So you keep the communication open. It's about the child, not past mistakes. I know I said I was going to only give you 4, but I got one more. I got a bonus point. All right, here we go. Bonus point, bonus point. Be a bonus parent, not a step parent. If the other person get in another relationship, if the other person get married and before you, that's not a step person. That doesn't intimidate or diminish your role. That's a bonus. They add something. They can play a powerful role if you don't diminish it. Let them step up and be a bonus parent. It's one of the greatest gifts that you can give a child in a child's life. Is another person that can come stand alongside and support. Man, Joseph was a bonus parent. He helped raise Jesus. Moses was raised by Pharaoh, a bonus parent. Pharaoh's daughter, right? When bonus parents step up, they raise great leaders and great people. Early on in our marriage, my wife was so concerned about not overstepping in her relationship with my son. So she would passively fall back and try to navigate and not say stuff and not do things. And his mom was super secure in once she met her and understood the value that she could bring. At first she had some tension about the nature of their relationship, but eventually they got to know each other and worked through the process where it was mutual respect, and she never was trying to override and be, something that his birth mom wasn't. But also his birth mom couldn't, negate the fact that she was help raising her, her child in this home, and mothers are the ones that nurture you, not just the one that birthed you. And so in that context, my wife had to learn how not to fall back, but to really lean in and play her role, because if she was silent when she should say something, or she was passive when she should be doing something, that literally, it could destroy the child. And so in the same way that Joseph stepped up to raise Jesus, knowing that he was not his biological son, or Moses was raised in Pharaoh's house, preparing him for leadership in the future, a bonus parent is not a replacement, but they're an addition. You don't replace, but you add to, right? It's a supplement, right? The child needs what the other one has to offer. And if God graces you to be a bonus parent, maybe you're a man that's helping raise another man's child, and God bless you to be a bonus parent, then make sure that you add value to that child, because a strong family can still be built even if it's blended. Trust me, 20 years later, I know. Disagreements don't have to lead to disconnection. Children can live and thrive in the blended families. And when parents and bonus parents do the work together, they create a generation of stability. And I'm believing that for you. And I know we got a lot of homes that have children that are being raised by multiple people. But man, I'm just believing that men are stepping up and being present in the lives of their children like never before, and doing what they got to do to get it done. Let me speak this declaration over you. I choose peace over pride. Come on, say it. I choose peace over pride. I put my child's well-being above my own emotions. I honor and respect the role of every parent in my child's life. My family, blended or not, will be a place of peace, love, wisdom, and strength. May God bless your family, and may you learn how to do it together. Peace.